Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today we're going to Masechtas Chagigah daf Yud Beis. We're going to begin on Yud Beis Amud Aleph, about 7 lines from the top. Rabbi Yehuda Marav. So we were learning that Adam Harishon was extremely tall, that he went all the way to the Rekia, and only after he was Sarach, once he sinned, then he was minimized in height. So Adam Harishon Masayfa Olav Yad Saifai. He actually spanned from one side of the world all the way to the other. Shenemar Lamin Hayom Asher Bar Elokim Adam Al Aretz O Mixte Hashemayim Ve'ad Kistei Hashemayim. Kivan Shesarach, once he sinned, Haniach Kadosh Baruch Hu Yadav Olav, as we said similarly, Hashem, so to speak, put his hand upon him, Umiuto, and minimized him. Shenemar V'Tosas Olai Kapecha, that he placed upon me his hands. Yihachi Kashu Koradadi. Of course, a stira. How tall was Adam? Was he from one side of the earth to the other, or was he from the earth to the sky? So really, it's not a machlokas; it's the same measurement. There's actually 10 things that were created on the first day. Elohein Shemayim Ba'aretz, of course, in the first pasuk, the heavens and the earth. Tova V'Bohu, this emptiness and desolate world, or v'choshech, light and darkness, ruach umayim, wind and water, midas yoim umidas laila, the attributes of the day and the attributes of the night. So these are the 10 things that were created. Now Tohu v'vo, the Gemara is going to explain soon what that really means. But the midas yom midas laila, Rashi says chafdal shois bein sheneim, that a day will consist of 24 hours. Now, how do we see this? Shemayim ba'aretz dechsev bereishis bara Elokim es shemayim v'eis ha'aretz. Tohu v'vohu dechsev ha'aretz ha'iseh tohu v'vohu. So it also mentions that. Or v'choshech dechsev v'choshech al pnei tohoim, that there was darkness. Or dechsev v'yomer Elokim yi'or, that there should be light. And v'yi'or, of course, there was. Ruach u'mayim dechsev v'ruach Elokim rachefes al pnei mayim. Of course, you're going to Torah or. They're all, of course, the first parak in Tanakh, in Parashas, that the Ruach Elokim was floating upon the waters. Midas Yomi, Midas Alayla, Dechsiv, Ve'yer Bihi Boker Yom Echad. So this is again the 10 things that were created on the first day. Tana. So what is Tohu? It's Kav Yaroik, Shehikev Hes Kol Olam Kulo. It's this green line that went around the entire world. Shemimenu Yotza Choshech, and from it darkness came. Shenemar Yashus Choshech Sisroi, that he placed darkness in a veil, Saviv Isav, and went all around. So this is Tohu. Uvahu is El Avanim, these are stones, Hamafulamois, Hamashukais, Betahaim, that were moist and were implanted into the depths of the earth. Shemehem Yoitzin Mayim, and from them comes forth water. Shenemar Manata Aleha Kav Tohu, the Abni Vahu. So we see that it was these stones is Vahu. So that's what Tohu Uvahu means. The Ramban says that Tohu is like a ray, like a wonder. This is Yesh Ayin. Bahu is already, it was there, like a rock. That's the reason, the difference. One was like a green line, which is like a ray of light, which is like Yesh Ayin, and then the Even is already something that was Ayin Ma'ayin, something Yesh Miyesh, something that was already there. Or Bayam Risha in Ivri, in fact, the Gemara, was the light really created on the first day? That he placed them in the skies. We know that the sun, the moon, the stars, those on the fourth day, it wasn't the first day. So how do we understand it's the first day? Hashem did create light on the first day. But what Hashem did was, a person could look at it from one side of the earth to the other. Once he saw that eventually there'll be generations that are going to be sinful, such as the flood and the dispersion, and their actions will be improper, therefore Hashem hid this special light. So there really was this light initially, and then only afterwards we find that he hid it because of our shortcomings. Shenemar v'yimna mershayim oidam, that he held back from the wicked the light. Umigon, so to whom was it hidden for? Let tzaddikim l'asalabai, that tzaddikim in the future will benefit from this great light. Shenemar v'yarlo kima sa'or kitayv v'yin tov el tzaddik. What is good? A tzaddik. Shenemar imrut tzaddik kitayv. Kivan shira or shigonzu tzaddikim samach. Hashem was happy once he realized that this was a good thing to save it for the tzaddikim. Shnemar or tzaddikim yismach. Ketanoi. The truth is, it's a machlokas tanoim. Or shabar kodesh baruch hu b'yom rishon adam seifa mabit boim miseifa oivad seifa. David Rabbi Yankiv. He said that you can see with it from one side of the earth to the other. Those are the words of Rabbi Yaakov. These are the lights that were created on the first day. But it was not actually put into the sky until the fourth day. So Hashem did create this light, but it wasn't actually until the fourth day that it actually was fashioned for the sun, the moon, etc. Amar Rav Zutra, Bar Tovia Amar Rav, Basar Devarim Nivra Oilam. Actually, with 10 things the world was created. B'chachmas v'das, which is Chabad, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. V'koyach, with knowledge, or with strength. V'gara, which is screaming like a rebuke. Gvura, strength. B'tzadik v'mishpat, v'chesed v'rachamim. So b'chachma v'svuna dechsev Hashem b'chachma yisad. Hashem, with wisdom, with chachma, with knowledge, fashioned the earth. Kainin shemayim betvuna, and he established the sky with understanding. Bedas dechsev bedaito tohoimois nivkau, with wisdom he the tohoimois, the depths were split. B'koyach gvur dechsev meichin harim b'koychei, that he prepared the mountains with his strength. Nezar b'gvura, then it was girded with strength. Bigvura b'gara dechsev amudei shamayim yiroifu, with screaming and rebuke. There's that the pillars of the sky were weak. V'yis mahu migarato, and they shook due to the noise of the screaming and the rebuke. Tzedek v'mishpat dechsev tzedek u'mishpat mechayin kisecha v'chesed rachmin dechsev zacharachamacha Hashem v'chasadecha kimi oilam hema. So it talks about the world. When Hashem created the world, he spread it on both sides just like the lines of thread. Until Hashem screamed out and it stopped. Fine. V'isma'u migarato v'haner reishlachish ma'nechsev ani kel Shaddai ani hu she'amarti l'olam die. I'm the one that says that it should stay in one place. And on this, the Divrei Chaim explains that everything in this world is the koyach of die. Even pleasure is finite. So this is the word shakai, is when Hashem speaks ani kel Shaddai, when Hashem uses the word shakai, that actually comes from the word die, enough. So he brings into the world the element of that which is finite. When he fashioned the seas, again, it continued to expand until he stopped it, and it created dry land. Shnemer goyer bayom, that he rebuked the sea, the avoishu, and it got dried, certain parts. V'chol hanaros hirchiv, and all the rivers dried up. Tonaban. V'shami armim shemayim nivru tchil v'achach nivru haaretz. What was created first, the heavens or the earth? So according to Beis Shammai, the heavens were created first, then the earth. Shnemer Bereshis bar Elokim Eis HaShamayim Eis HaAretz. Pretty clear. The pasuk says that first was the heavens, then was the earth. No, actually, the earth was created before the sky, before the heavens. Shnemer B'yom Asos Hashem Elokim Eretz V'Shamayim. So the pasuk says earth before the Shemayim. According to you, doesn't make sense. Adam Boina Aliyah, person's going to build his attic. v'achach boina bayis, and then the bottom floor. Shnemer v'haboina m'shamayim eliyasav yagudasai al eretz yisada. That on the ground the land is fashioned. So why would you start building from the bottom up? You don't build from the top down. So of course the earth should have been before the heavens. A person's gonna sharfaraf. Is a person going to first have a footstool, and then construct a chair for the footstool? No, first you make a chair, then the footstool. The sky, the heavens is like my chair, but aretz hadam ragli, and the ground is like my footstool. The heavens and the earth were actually created at the same time. Shnemar af yedei yisada eretz v'yamini tavcha shamayim, that it spanned the heavens. Karn alehem yamdu yachdav. So they actually were created at the same moment. The idach ma yachdav. Yachdav is mashma that happened at the same time. So how do we understand that the heavens were first, and the earth was first? Where it says, it just means to loy mishtalfi mahadadi, that they were not conflicting with another. It just means not that they were yachdav, they were created at the same time, but there was like achdos, that there was no conflict between the heavens and the earth. So kasha krai dadi, so chayr is a stira. First, Hashem created the heavens and the earth. However, not the aretz. When he set it up, first he set up the earth. Not the shemayim. So my shemayim. What does the word shemayim mean? So Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina shesham mayim. There is water. The Masnis Tana eshu mayim. It's constructed of the basic ingredients of fire and water. Hashem came and mixed these two together, and that's how he was able to make the sky through the mixture of fire and water. That's what Shamayim, Eish and Mayim. Shol Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Kiva. Kishahayim Mahalchin B'derech, when they were going the road, Armalei Ata Shishamashta Es Nacham Yishgamzu Chapei Shana. I know that you served the great Nachman Ish Gamzu for 22 years. Shahaya Darish Kol Esin Shibatayra. And every single S in the Torah he learned. So Es HaShemayim, Es HaShemayim, Es HaAretz, Ma Haya Darish Behen. What is the secondary? Usually Es is like a secondary to the noun. It doesn't really have any meaning, but it's representing something. So what was it? Amalei Il Nemer Shemayim V'Aretz. If it said it that way, then Hayis Aimer Shemayim Shemo Shel Baruch. You would think the word Shemayim is actually one of Hashem's names. Achshav Shemer Esa Shemayim Sa'aretz Shemayim Shemayim Mamish Aretz Aretz Mamish. So this way, a person's not going to think that that it's actually God's name, but it's talking about the heavens and the earth. The Maharsha says you would think that Eretz and Shemayim have in it a chelik of Hashem. So it is saying that these were created by Hashem, but not that they alone have a chelik of Hashem or godliness in them. I am the Maharsha. Okay, let's see if there's a question here. Mandua Ganas, question 13. Mandua Ganas HaKadosh Baruch Hu Esa'or Shibar Olam. Why did he do it? It's because Shara Kilkul Dor Hamabel V'Dor Haflaga. Because he saw what was going on over there, and therefore because he saw what happened, therefore he had to hide the great light. As we continue to Yud Beis Amud Beis. Eis ha'aretz lamali, l'hakdim shemayim v'aretz, again to show that the heavens came before the earth. V'aretz haisa tova vahu, so he explained what is tohu and what is vahu, so michti. But shemayim askil bereisha. Originally he's talking about the heavens, and then the earth. So ma'ishna de kachashim ma'isa aretz, so then why does it start talking about earth? So Tanda de Rabbi Shmuel, mashal melech basav, like a regular king. She'armu lavadav, he says to his servants, Hashkimu lepisle, go to my door. So Hishkim, they got up. Umatzah nashim v'anashim, so he found men and women and men. Lami mishabech, so who's he going to praise? Lami she'ein darcha lahashkim the Hishkim, someone that typically does not get up and he ended up getting there early, that was something which was more impressive. So, like the Gemara in Brachos and Beis, it says like the Eretz is more impressive to connect to Hashem more than the Shemayim. So because that was something which is more impressive, because there it's not Darko Hashkim, only when it comes to the Shemayim, right? So therefore this was, the Eretz is there, therefore it's worthwhile to talk about the land. Tanya Rabbi Yossi Omer, Oilehem Labrios, Sharos Ve'in Yoidos Ma'rois. Woe to the people that they see, but they have no idea what they see. If only some lack of science, how would the functions, how is this oi? So these are these are tests. The oilehem labrios, woe to these people, they see and they don't even know what they see. Okay. Oimdais, it stands. Then yoidas alma hin oimdais. They don't understand what the world's standing on. Haaretz alma oimdais. So what is it standing on? Alamudim. It's actually standing on pillars. Shenemar, obviously, this is not really meaning it stood on pillars, but it means the functionality of the world are on important principles. Shenemar hamragis. Eretz mimkaima ve'amudeha is paltzain. So a person who shakes the earth from its place and his pillars tremble. So amudim al hamayim. So his pillars on water. Shnemer l'roika aretz al mayim. Mayim al harim. The waters on the mountain. Shnemer al harim yamdu mayim. Harim beruach. The mountains are on the winds. Shnemer kihini yotzer harim. Uvayar ruach. Ruach b'tzara. The wind is connected to the storm. Shnemer ruach tzara oisa devaro. Tzara tuliya b'zara shel kadosh baruch hu. And the storm is kaviyachol connected to the arm of Hashem. Shnemer mitachas rois oilam. Chacham amrim al yud beis amudim oimdes. The world stands on 12 pillars. Shnemer yitzav gevulos amim, that he set it on the boundaries of the nations. L'mismar b'nei Israel, the amount of the b'nei Israel. So why 12 pillars? So the idea behind it again is that it's totally on the shiftei ka. Our 12 tribes is what causes the world to stand. V'yeshamer zayin amudim, 9. Shenemer 7 rather. Shenemer chatzva amudeha shiva, that she cut the pillars which are 7. Rabbi Lezer ben Shmuel Omer al omud echad, but tzaddik shemo. The whole world stands on one pillar, and that's the tzaddik. Shenemar the tzaddik yesod olam, that it's the tzaddik who is the foundation of the entire world. Amr Rabbi Yehuda shnei rekiyin hein. There's actually 2 skies. Shnemer hein lo Hashem elokecha hashemayim u'shmei hashemayim. Yeshlokish Amr Shiva. There's actually 7 heavens. Ve'el hein viloin, which literally means like a curtain. Rakia shchokim, like the clouds. Zvul, the heights. Ma'oin, the dwelling. Machoin, the foundation. And Oravois, which is the darkness. So what are these 7 heavens? Viloin in mishamash kulum el nichnas shachas v'yotze arvis. It doesn't serve it except that morning comes and then the evening goes. And every day there's the newness of the creation. Shnemar hanoite ki doik shamayim, just like a curtain that stretches out towards the sky. Vim tachem ka'oihel shaves, that it spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. Rakia shemo chamul avoina kachava mazalois kavuin. So when we talk about the second heaven, that's referring to where the sun, the moon, the stars, the constellations are set. Shnemer v'yitin oisim elokim barakia hashemayim. The next level, 3 shchokim shabo richayim oimdais, the millstones, so to speak, stand. But toichanais min mon l'tzadikim, they grind up food for the tzaddik. Shnemar v'yitzav shechokim mimal v'delasi shemayim, and the doors of the sky. Pesach is an opening. V'yimter alehem mon le'achoil, and it rained upon them mon to eat. Zvul, which is the 4th level. Zvul shebo Yerushalayim. That's where you have Yerushalayim, Beis Hamikdash, umizevach banoi umichael hasar hagadol oimed umakribel of carbon. So again, this is obviously, these are all spiritual places where these things take place. Shnemar bana benisi bais zvulach. So it says it's zvul. Machayin, the fifth level. L'shivtacha oilamim. Umenol the ikri shemayim. How do we know that's called the heavens? D'chsev habit mishmayim rei. Gaze upon the heavens. Mizvul kadshecha v'tifartcha. Ma'oyin, the abode, shebo kito shel malchi asheris. You have the groups of angels. She'oimroi shira b'layla. They sing to Hashem. V'chashais b'yoyim. And they're silent during the day. And they kvaydin shel Yisrael, because they show kavod to Yisrael. So they only cry out and sing at night. Shenemar yoimim yitzava Hashem chastai v'layla shir ami. The Maharsha says this is another reason why in Tfilas Arvis is only Rishus, because the Malachim are singing at night, and the night really belongs to angels. If you learn Torah at night, so then you're going to have this connection of kindness in the day. It'll have positive benefits in the day. Shnemar Yomi mitzav Hashem chasto. Matam Yomi mitzav Hashem chasto. Shir ami, because you reached out and you sang to Hashem, and therefore for that reason, then you're going to end up having chesed in the day. If you learn Torah even when it's dark, when it's night, when there's levels of uncertainty, then you're going to have chesed in the day. In Olam Habash. Never Yomi Mitzav Hashem Chasel V'Layla Shirami. Amar Avlevi Kol HaPoisik Medivri Torah. Anyone who stops learning V'Oisik Medivri Sicha and instead engages in foolish conversation, Machil Noiso Gechali Ritzomim. He'll be consumed by these hot coals. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Hakoitvim Miloyach. So as it'll uproot, luach sounds like the luchos, which is referring to the Torah. Always siach, one who's engaged in siach, an idle chatter, b'sharish ritzamim lechamim, and it'll be that he will be faced with these roots of hot, steaming coals. Manol de ikri shemayim shenemar hashkiva moin kachachem in shemayim mechayin. Shiboy aratzoy sheleg, there's snow, there are artzos barad and hail, baliyos talolim, and to the left there's going to be dews, which are roim, baliyas agolim, there'll be raindrops, the chadra shel tsoifa v'tzara, and there'll be a chamber of wind and storm, nomara shel kitor, and there'll be like a cave of vapor, v'delosehen eish, and their doors will be like fire. Shnemar yiftach Hashem l'cha es eitzer hatoiv. So if it says hatoiv, mashmin is also a bad one too. So hani b'rekia isnehu, hani b'ara isnehu. This is actually on the earth. T'chsev halu es Hashem min haaretz teninim, the sea monsters, l'chol tahoimais, eish v'org shel v'kita ruach saros sedavaro. These are all things that happen here. It doesn't happen all the way up in the sky. Rabbi Yehuda, so Amar Rav, David bikesh aleihim rachmim. David had asked compassion, but harid in the arts, and it came down to earth, but originated up in this heaven. David said, "Lokel chavitz rasha ata." Hashem does not want the wicked. Lo yigorcha, not to live with you. Ra Tzadik ata Hashem lo yoger b'migurecha ra. Your righteous do not allow the wicked to live in your living places. U'menon de ikri shemayim dechsev ata tishma hashmayim mechayin shivtacha. Or Rabbis, which is the top, Shabbat Tzedek Mishpat v'Sadaka Ginzi Chayim v'Ginzi Shalom v'Ginzi Bracha. So you have the treasures of life and peace and blessing. Nishmas and Shal Sadikim. There you'll find the souls of the righteous, Ruchais, V'Neshamais, Shasid, Libarois. V'Tal Shasid Kadosh Baruch Hu L'Hachiyos Bo Mesim. Also, this is the storage place for the dew, which will eventually bring the dead back to life. Umishba dechsev sedek, umishba chen kisecha tzedakah. Dechsev v'yilba tzedakah kashirin, like a shield. Ginzi chayim dechsev ki imach makar chayim. V'ginzi shalom dechsev v'yikru Hashem shalom. V'ginzi bracha dechsev yisam bracha miyis Hashem. The shmashim sal sadikim are there also. Dechsev t'hois and nefesh adayni sarura b'sar chayim es Hashem elkecha. So that their soul will be bound up in the bound of life. Ruchais and the shamais she'asid v'hibarais, as well as the souls that will eventually be created. Dechsev ki ruach melifnei yatayv and the shamais ani asisi, the neshamos which I have made. The tal shasa kadosh baruch hu hachios b'meisim dechsev geshem nidvais tanif elokim, that the geshem, the rain will pour down from God. Nachlascha, your inheritance. V'nol ata kananta, it will be prepared different than. Shem afanim v'serafim v'chayis hakodesh v'malchei sharis v'chisei kavod melech kel chai ramadi sa sheichin aleim. Ba'ravois dechsev ba'ravois nemert solo roichem ba'ravois be'shemai, that he made it great, and his name is Hashem. U'menon di'ikra shemayim asir rechiva rechiva. So gzer shava ksiv hachat solo reicha v'ravos ksiv haser reicha shemayim b'azrecha v'chayshech v'anan v'arafel. These levels of darkness, thick darknesses, mekifanaiso surround it. Shnemer yashas chayshech sisroi sevivaisav sukasai, that the darkness is like a sukkah. Chashachas mayim avi shachakim. What does that mean? There's darkness in front of Hashem. We're saying there's this level of darkness above. Who goli amikta, that he reveals that which is in the depth. Umistarta yadama machashucha, he knows what's in the dark. V'nahura amehashari, and the light of the nations will dwell. So what do you mean? It's not dark. There's light. Our answer is lo kasha ha b'bati gavoy ha b'bati baroi. So if we're talking about the bati gavoy, which are the inner chambers, there it's light. Or the outer chambers, that there isn't. It could be darkness. V'yomer Rav Acha bar Yaakov oid rekia echad yesh l'mala merashi hachayos. There's actually a sky or heaven even above that. T'chsev v'demus al roishi hachaya rekia ke'in hakerach hanoira, just like this terrible ice. Ad kan yesh l'chorishos l'daber. So you should know you're allowed to speak up until the seven heavens and above. More than that, you're not allowed to speak. You can't go any higher than that. It's written over there, something which is separate from you, do not investigate. Something covered up from you, don't think into it. His boinin, that we have permission to, you should think about. Bina starais. Person should not be involved in hidden matters. So a person is only allowed to study the seven heavens, but not any higher than that. Okay, we'll stop there. Let's see a couple questions. Al kama amudim oimed ha'oilam. How many pillars does the world stand? So we have more than one answer. One partial answer is 1. Another answer we said was 7, and we also said 12. Okay. Now, what exactly is the significance of 7? It's not so pashit. The Maharsha says you have din, emes, and shalom. If you don't know this, the world is like shaking. And you have mayim, harim, ruach, tzara. So the waters like Torah, the mountain are like the tzaddikim, the ruach is like the neshama, tzara is the yetzahara that you need to conquer. You need Hashem's strong hand to assist us to be able to be victorious over those things. I am the Maharsha. TA 30. Ksib Yom Rishon it says regarding the first day of creation, V'yom Elokim Yehi Or, V'ksiv b'yom Revi V'yitin Oisim B'Rakiyah HaShemayim. So Matai Im Kein Nivra Or B'Oilum. So what does it mean? Was he created on the first day or the fourth day? So we had a machlokas. Rabbi Elazar said that the Or was created on the first day, but then Hashem hid that light, and on the fourth day He created the lights that we're familiar with. Or the Chacham say that both of them were created on the first day, but He didn't actually finish it until day number 4. So that was TA 30. So let's just find this. Fine. So Kivan Shira or Sheganzul Tzadikim Samach, etc. So this was question 14, right? That's one answer. The other answer, as we said, was Hein Ma'oirish Nivra Miyam Rishon V'nitlu Ad Yom Revi. So that's a second explanation. Okay, and that was actually question not 14. That was question TA 30. That was question TA 30. Okay, let's put this to the side, and let's see if we have another question. TB1. Heich miyashiv Reish Lakish hakroi dibibreishis hikdim shemayim la'aretz v'yoim asas alkim hikdim eretz v'shemayim. So which was it? So he says, Kishenivra, when Hashem created the world, bar shemayim t'chil. First He created the heavens. However, kshenata not the eretz t'chil. When He set it up, He took care of the land afterwards. Ayin the Marsha, if Reish Lakish holds like the Shita Beis Shammai or Beis Hillel. Ad kan.